Hey everyone, in this FC24 How to Renew Contracts Ultimate Team video, I'm going to show you exactly that. So there is one player on my squad at the minute who needs a contract renewed, and that's McAllister here. So you can tell that because top right of the bar, there's a little flashing icon that looks, funny enough, a bit like a contract. And that means we need to renew the contract. So down the bottom, you'll see different commands. So for me, the command that I need is actions, which is X on the Xbox. I think it's square on the PlayStation. So hit that button. And then when you're on here, you should see a thing that says apply recommended consumable player contracts. If you haven't got that, you might not have a contract available. So I'll show you where to get those in just a sec. You can also choose what type of contract you apply by using the apply consumable button. So the one down here, so I'm moving my left stick to that. Select it with A or X on the PlayStation, and it will show you different things you can do. So here it's saying, look, the suggested thing here is a player contract. So you can see just to the side of me there, and that's going to give this particular player 28 games of contract time because he's a gold player. So that player contracts thing that we see in the middle, it says 28, 24, 28 at the bottom of player contracts. That refers to the type of player you've got, whether they're bronze, silver or gold quality. So in this case, it's going to be 28 renewal. Now, if you don't want to use that one on the player, you can right button or R1 on the PlayStation over to contract and see what other contracts you have. So for example, I have a much more basic player contract consumable that would get me out of this situation and enable McAllister to play, but only for one game. So you can see that one's one game, this one is 8 games, etc., etc. You can also see here how many contracts you have of each type. So if you look at the top right of each of these types of contract, you can see I've got loads of these bronze ones. So I could just keep using these on the player just to get rid of some of these. Or I could say, no, I can't be bothered. I'm just going to use this one here. So in this case, I'm just going to use this one and you'll see what then happens. So we'll select it with A. And then on the left-hand side, did you see contracts has jumped up by 29 because he had one contract left. So that is all cool. We can come back out of here and we have renewed his contract. Now, in case you're wondering how you can check how many contracts you've got with each player, if you use your right stick on your controller, you'll flick through all these different modes. And if you move from the player icons here to left, you'll see it here. And it's the first thing, the con 29 you can see here. So if we have a little look, this player here, Wan-Bissaka, is going to need some new contracts very soon. So we could have a little look at that one as well. So we could go actions, apply a recommended consumable, but just to show the difference, I'll just apply a simple one here. So we'll just go with the bronze one and just show that it jumps the contracts up to 2, and you can just keep adding them here. So because we got loads of these, we could just keep doing these, and you can see the contracts is climbing on the left-hand side. So what about if you have no contracts? What do you do? So let's cover that. What you need to do is back out of the squads view on Ultimate Team and back out of this one again. And you want to be over here on transfers. So I'm using right button to come over, R1 on the PlayStation, and then select it with A or X on the PlayStation or whatever button shows down the bottom left for you. When you're inside the transfer market, jump in again to search the market. And the reason why you want to come in this way rather than on the squad view is you have access to consumables on this area because this is the full transfer market. So on the top bar, you see that we've got players, consumables, stadium and staff. So we just right button or R1 on the PlayStation over to consumable type. And the first consumable type is player contracts. So you can see this and you can just hit search with Y down the side there. So you see Y or triangle on the PlayStation. And this will show you all the contracts that are available. Now, what I strongly suggest you do here is have a little look at what these are going for. So start price here you can see is 150. The buy now is 5,000. So I'm going to hit actions and bid 150 because that's the lowest price you're going to get one of these for. So we'll do this, and then this is applied to my watch area. So generally these are pretty easy to find. You could come back to this one with B or circle, change the quality to gold and see the best contracts that you can get. And we'll just have a little look at this again and search and see what we've got come up. So we've now got gold contracts, but we want the rare ones, so we'll just go up a little bit. So these ones aren't quite as good as this one. So what I just suggest you do is just bid on these here, unless you're desperate for one of these and you need to get it right now. So don't pay the 5,000. I'll show you what to do there. So what we should do is go back to here and change the pricing and change the max buy now to something reasonable, like for example 300. Click search and let's see what comes up. So you can see we could get this one for 300, no problem. So we can probably get those even cheaper. So let's go back and change that max buy now down a little bit. Let's go 250, and we'll probably find, if we right button or R1 over, some that are 28. I just went past some there. There you go, 200. Easy peasy. So if you need it instantly, just choose the buy now, and there you go. You've got one for 200. So we'll continue searching just back out there. Just one thing I want to show you, if you were bidding on lots of them, if you come back out again, actually we need to just confirm that. So when you're on this page here, it's confirm items, right trigger down the bottom left hand side, or R2 on the PlayStation. That'll then put it into your club item so you can use it on a member of the team. The other thing that you can see in this area, if we back out of this one, is just the transfer targets area. So here on the right hand side, and if we view the transfer targets, if you bid on something, it will show you whether you won it here, and you can see indeed we did. So we hit A to advance, or whatever button shows down the bottom, X on the PlayStation. We could quick sell it, we could list it on the transfer market, but we just want to confirm it, so right trigger, and that'll be sent to my club as well, now available to use. So there you go, that's how to renew contracts. Process is exactly the same if it's a manager. One thing I want to talk about just before we go though, that confuses a lot of players, is if there is no option to renew the contract and it shows the player's expired. That happens if it's a loan player. So a loan player, you will see they have this number down the bottom right hand side of their badge. So Kenny Dalglish here, you can see I've got 10 games left with this player. Now, if that goes down to nothing, you cannot renew the player because they are a loan player. They are useless. It'll say, do you want to convert to concept, which really confuses people because then you have a badge that doesn't seem to show anything except a blue background and the player. You cannot play with them. So you can convert them to concept if you want, but then just send them to the club. Don't put them in your squad, otherwise you cannot play. So just looking at my club here, you can see I've got a couple of players getting low on these. So Kerr is, Van Dijk is, and the reason why I've not let them expire is you can, if you keep them at least one, you can use them in non-competitive games like friendlies. So I suggest you keep your loan players at one, and just so you can continue using them after that. But you'll see with Van Dijk here, actions, you can see there is no option to apply a contract. If I go to apply consumable, I cannot, we don't go to contract, use these on him. So if I try it, contracts cannot be extended for loan players. Please choose another player, one who is not on loan. So there you go, my friends. That's how to renew contracts in the game. I hope that was useful to you. If it was, give us a thumbs up, please. That's much appreciated. Any comments welcome. If you need more help with anything in FC24, let me know with what. I've covered the games for many years now, and I'm working on the tutorials for FC24. I'll put up a playlist at the end of here with more tutorials. Hopefully they help you out. And have a little look around my channel. I don't just cover FC24, but many other games too. And if you like what I do, hit that subscribe, will you? Thanks.